Hello everyone, this is Fender. It's Saturday morning, February 17th, 2018. Time 4:08 a.m. here in New York City, my city, which is the greatest city in the world, located in the greatest country in the world. Yeah, babies. This very short video is on Cheddar Man. Now, some people came up with a 3D image of this Cheddar Man last month, I believe. And they came to the conclusion that the Cheddar Man may look dark-skinned. They found the Cheddar Man bones in a cave somewhere in England about almost 100 years ago. I believe 10 years ago, the people that found these bones came up with an idea or image what this person may have looked like 10,000 years ago. And they came up with this image, okay? And as you guys and gals can see the image of what they think this individual when he lived 10,000 years ago may look like, as you guys and gals see, they assume he may have looked white with fair skin and long hair. But they have gone back and revisited the Cheddar Man with new technology, with new DNA technology, better DNA technology. With this new DNA technology, they can discover what skin color the Cheddar Man may have had 10,000 years ago, what eye colors the Cheddar Man may have 10,000 years ago as well, and on and so forth. So they came up with a better image of the Cheddar Man. And they revealed the Cheddar Man to the world, like I said, last month, I believe. And this 3D image of the Cheddar Man has shocked the world. Because up to this point, most people thought that 10,000 years ago, British people were looking like this person. White, fair skin, long, straight hair. But lo and behold, with new technology and DNA research, they have a better, accurate idea what this Cheddar Man may have looked like, which is, as you guys can see, this dark-skinned, very dark-skinned, dark brown, melanated individual with blue eyes. Wow, with blue eyes. Okay, I have been doing some research lately on Neanderthal. Okay, and the research have shown me that modern Europeans and modern Asians have some Neanderthal DNA in them. The research has shown me that about 6, 7, 8% of Europeans, non-Africans, have Neanderthal DNA. My research also showed me that around, believe this or not, but yeah, 20 or 30% of Asians have Neanderthal DNA. So I would have to assume, or give an educated guess, that this Cheddar Man may have Neanderthal DNA as well. Why do I say this? Because if he lived 10,000 years ago, 15,000 years ago, who knows, maybe 20,000 years ago, you had people in Europe walking around 20,000 years ago with Neanderthal DNA. Now, the outer Africa theory I may subscribe to, and which state that mankind, Homo sapiens, originated in Africa about 200, 150,000 years ago, and around maybe 50, 70,000 years ago, some of the Africans have left Africa, the continent of Africa, and have migrated to the Middle East, where in this time, about 40, 50, 60,000 years ago, the Neanderthal lived in the Middle East area. And my research has shown me that the Homo sapiens out of Africa have interbreeded with Neanderthal, thus producing modern day, white Europeans. And and the Homo sapiens that have left Africa at about 50,000 years ago have also gone to Asia, and there were some, I think, Neanderthal as well up there in that area as well. This is why about 20 or 30% of Asians has Neanderthal DNA. Wow, this is very shocking to me. So I must assume I haven't found any information on the Cheddar Man having DNA, because this Cheddar Man appearing in social media is just very recent. So I'm sure the scientist hasn't done any check to see if this Cheddar Man has Neanderthal DNA, but I personally believe that he does. His DNA does have Neanderthal. It's almost as if black people, Africans, when they left Africa, have encountered, of course, other hominins out there, right? And that the theory out there is that the Africans have mated with these beings, these homo-like human being creatures, and that the interbreeding has spawned modern day Europeans. This is why Europeans have Neanderthal DNA, and Asians as well. But what's so funny in the research I found is that none of the Africans in Africa has any of this Neanderthal DNA and other hominin DNAs that was around that area at this time. It's almost as if Africans 50,000 years ago have, made the Neanderthal descendants, like gave a little humanity to the Neanderthal descendants. The Europeans we see today is almost as if, once again, like the modern Asians we see today, they got their humanity from Africans that migrated out of Africa about 50, 60,000 years ago, and whatever hominins were out there in Asia and in the Middle East or in Europe ended up breeding with the Africans and spawned modern day Europeans and modern day Asians. Yeah, so I will like someone to, I don't know, speak to these guys, these twins that came up with this 3D image of this Cheddar Man, and ask them. Maybe I may send them a letter. Who knows? Maybe I may email them that they should do a Neanderthal DNA test on this specimen, because I believe he has Neanderthal DNA. Okay, and yes, there's people saying that this individual Cheddar Man may have came from another area. It may not necessarily be ancient British people, but nevertheless, my research once again has shown me that around 30, 40, 50,000 years ago, black people were all over the place. Okay, they were in Southeast Asia, they were in China, they were over here in the Americas. I mean, my research have also revealed to me that the white man that we know of today, modern white people, modern Caucasians, came on the scene recently about 7 or 8, maybe 9,000 years ago. So prior to the appearance of the Caucasian, the planet was a black planet, people with melanated skin. And I've been doing some study on melanin, and I found out there's 3 types of melanin. There's uromelanin that produce dark to brown complexion in the skin. And there's phenomelanin, where most Asian people, yellow people with yellow skin, and Caucasian white skin people have. And there's neuromelanin, which is also located in the brain. So and the dominant human beings around 50, 60,000 years ago were human beings with uromelanin, with dark skin, or brown skin, um, you know, very brown skinned or dark skinned, um, which is the reason why it was this complexion is because so they can absorb some of the sun rays and not be affected by the UV rays coming from the sun. And actually using the UV rays or the rays from the sun to give them strength, empower them, to give them, speed and, help them to think smarter and all this stuff. But yeah, so this is why you see a lot of ancient societies that has black primitive people or black tribes, you usually see mounds or pyramids that dark-skinned people around 50, 60,000 years ago have built mounds and pyramids. Here in the Americas, here in my country, they say here in the Americas has the most amount of pyramids and mounds in any other place on this planet. But I don't want to, digress. Let me just once again throw this question out there, which is, does this guy has Neanderthal DNA? Okay, and this is all I want to say tonight, or early this morning. Okay, everyone, take care, God bless, and bye.